Now, for the most part, we all know that there are three major brands that produce Disney Cars diecast, those being Mattel, Tomica, and the Disney Store. While Mattel and Tomica are of course still going strong to this day, it is absolutely no secret at all that the Disney Store has struggled immensely, especially over the last few years, and even that might be an understatement. You know, it's funny, I just went to Las Vegas, and that is a huge retail capital of the country, and even that Disney Store location closed down. I was quite disappointed because obviously all the ones near me, and even, on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, another retail capital, closed down. So I was excited to go out there and check it out. Nope, gone. And it's funny, we go back for this video, we travel back in time to 2012. The birth of Cars 2 was among us. They were going hard with all the Cars 2 characters, not releasing anything from any previous movie, and that was how it was for both Mattel and the Disney Store. And yet they only released this incredible line of exclusive McQueens internationally. Now that's great for our European friends here, especially in the UK where most of these were sold, but it's such a great line to invest into, and for the Disney Store, to release like one of these per month, make a special packaging for it, have a whole shelf for it, and not put it in the United States really boggles the mind. And so yeah, we're going to address that a little bit more, but welcome back to another Mr. Docket production, kind of a different video today. I'm very excited to get into this. I just completed my collection of these Disney Store Country Lightning McQueens, and there is a lot to talk about with them because, of course, there are a lot of bootlegged factory custom fakes of them on eBay from China, and they've been there for pretty much a decade, for as long as I remember surfing eBay, and they're pretty solid. They use the Mattel model for Lightning McQueen, not the Disney Store one, but the decals on them are almost identical. So it'll be interesting to compare, see the differences here and there, and I'll also get into some of the Country McQueens that the Disney Store didn't do, but the factory customizers did. Let's obviously start here with the United States Lightning McQueen, the American, the Patriot McQueen here. So yeah, back in 2012 when these debuted, I'm pretty sure they aimed to release one new Country McQueen per month, and they were available at other stores across Europe, not just those in the UK, but obviously that is your primary base. If you're not going to release it in the United States, yeah, the UK is going to be a pretty good bet. And I love this circular packaging right here. It's so unique and it really lends itself to displaying them. Like, I usually don't display much of my package collection, but these, coupled with the fact that they are uber rare and kind of cost me an arm and a leg to get, when I really spent a lot of money on something, I don't want to just put it away in the storage. But regardless of that, they look great to put on display. So you can see, collect them all here, and we'll take a look at the ones that they put on the back, which are all of them. You have Ireland, Italy, Canada, Belgium, France, Spain, Portugal, UK, Japan, Germany, USA, and Denmark. Pretty cool. They'll also have signs for each of those countries here on the front, which I thought was pretty interesting. New, you have the new logo right there. They put that on all of them to really emphasize that these are new products. World Grand Prix diecast, just great packaging all around, exclusive. Again, really exclusive to what though? Yeah, obviously they're exclusive to the Disney Store, but they were exclusive to European Disney stores. You really cannot find these anywhere these days. Maybe you could find a couple on eBay right now, maybe especially from a European seller who is... I actually got most of these from European sellers. Like, I probably got a third from a UK seller, another third from a French seller, and then the other third did come from a United States seller. But it really took a while to complete this set because not, one seller had them all. Took, scavenging. I really had to scrounge them up. All right, so yeah, factory custom Lightning McQueen here. From China in the Mattel mold for McQueen. That is the major thing here to remember, is that the factory customizers do not use Disney Store stuff. It is extremely rare for there to be a Disney Store factory custom, and the only one I know of is Zed, which that's a story for another day. There's like 4 factory custom Nether Zeds. So weird. They have like, there's like a red wing, orange wing, yellow wing. So weird. But yeah, that is why they used the Mattel mold instead, and somehow they were able to get the decals off the Disney Store one. You know, I don't know, either they had access to the Disney Store factories there or whatnot, or maybe they just gave it their best effort at recreating them, and which they did really good, especially on the United States version here. You can see everything's pretty much identical. You are missing the 2 stars right there on the stripes. You can see that there are 5 stars total, but on the factory custom, you only get 3. And that's okay. You can't really see them all too well on the stripes there anyway. But the bolt looks really nice with the Star Spangled Banner intermixed. You even get the blue window bars. American flag on the back. So there's one difference. Powered by All in All with the American flag, whereas on the official Disney Store version, the American flag is not present. Good stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to really struggle to give you guys my answer as to which one's my favorite, but that would definitely be in my top 5, along with the Ireland McQueen here, the Irish McQueen. I am actually Irish, guys, believe it or not. So this one I'm a big fan of. Plus, there is no Irish World Grand Prix racer. Obviously, there's a Wings Around the Globe Irish racer in Little King, but in Cars 2, there's not one. So this design is very fresh and new to us. It's something that the Disney Store themselves came up with, whereas, you know, we'll get to Spain and France, and those designs are almost exactly the same as Raoul Cerul and Miguel Camino. So yeah, here is your factory custom. Again, the decals are going to be pretty much identical. You have your Ireland flag right there. You have the clover leaf on the roof. All of the McQueens have the same wheels, the typical World Grand Prix wheels. Of course, the bolt there just has the Ireland flag kind of incorporated into it, green, white, orange. And on the back here, you'll notice a trend that the Disney Store version will just say powered by All in All, but the factory custom will add the flag of that country, which honestly, that's a pretty good inclusion. You know, if you're going to deviate from the actual one, then that's a pretty good deviation. I think it adds a little bit to the design. All right, moving on to Spain here. Of course, Miguel Camino races for Spain in Cars 2. And so they were able to use his design for this McQueen. You could tell that they incorporated like the black sketch to it, like the checkered board pattern almost that he has on his side there. The roof design there with those black swooshes or whatever you want to call them. It is truly kind of a copy and paste of that. Not super creative, I must admit. And that is why I definitely prefer some of the ones that, you know, like Ireland and the US, where those designs, you know, are brand new for these McQueens. That being said, the Spain McQueen here is still pretty nice. Couple differences between the FC and the Disney Store version. You'll see the black outline around that middle yellow swoosh is not present. Taking a look at the bolt here, everything looks to be the same. Focus in a little bit. I really love the flare decal on the sides of the spoiler. That's a really nice touch that, you know, both the factory custom and the Disney Store version were able to squeeze on there. God, I'd love to travel to Spain. Now, here's another big difference. For whatever reason, you know, they didn't do it on the other McQueens, at least the ones that we've gone to. They don't paint the back window over. They just leave it gray. But on the Spain version, they did. They painted it over. And I think that, you know, again, it has to do with the fact that they paint over the back window on Miguel Camino himself. So I think that's just, you know, you're seeing the translation of Miguel Camino in that regard. But yeah, I would love to go to Barcelona. I've studied a lot of Spanish culture, more so Latin American and South American culture, but I still would like to go to Spain. The most wanted place in terms of Spanish-speaking locations I'd like to go is Argentina. Buenos Aires to be exact. Anyway, here we have Canada. So again, another one just like Ireland that we don't have a World Grand Prix racer of. Wings Around the Globe, that would be Rochelle. Believe it or not, Rochelle is the Canadian racer in the Planes movie. So let's take a look comparing these. Again, you'll see that the decals are almost identical. It's hard to mess this up when you just got to go to Google Images and type in Canadian flag, save image to desktop, drag and drop over to Microsoft Word, and you're done. Google Maple Leaf, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that too, man. I'm just being goofy right now. But yeah, I mean, that is all the Canadian McQueen is. I want to really like this version. You know, I have a lot of friends in Canada, a lot of cars collectors up there. You guys know who you are. Super friendly bunch. I've been to Canada. It's the only foreign country I have been to, but this design is lackluster at best. Literally just red and white Canadian flag and the maple leaf. The most iconic symbol of Canada. They do paint over the back window here in white, but yeah, not a huge fan of Canadian McQueen. I want to like him though. I really do, guys. I really do. All right, moving on to France here. So this guy, of course, is going to be modeled after Raoul Sarroul. So you can see the GRC right there, which is the rally league that Raoul races in. And also like the white dot, kind of like a paint design that Raoul has. It's almost like spray paint unfinished. Kind of a really nice artistic choice to make it look kind of ragged like that. And yeah, they put that on the McQueen as well. The factory custom went even further. You could see that the factory custom's even more of a translation of Raoul Sarroul because they use the like blue here that's splattered up on his sides. They make it much darker. They make the center much lighter, whereas I guess the Disney Store version does that too, just not as boisterous. You know, you can see that it barely touches the hood there. And the factory custom went a little bit crazy with it. Almost looks like he's been splashed with blue paint. But you have the French flag there in the center. GRC, of course. 95 in white looks pretty cool. The blue bolt's pretty nice. GRC again next to the gas cap. They painted over the roof here, or the window, which obviously is the same on Raoul, especially because of his model. I don't even think there's a window back there. Here's another difference. The back of the French McQueen factory custom is red, whereas it's blue on the Disney Store version. By the way, the packages on all these are the exact same, so that is why I'm not showing them all and just showing the car itself. All right, moving on to Denmark. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but there is a short that I actually uploaded on TikTok, and it's going to be on YouTube soon, if not, you know, already, where I show that I finally obtained all of these, because again, it was a huge accomplishment for me. It's like, you know, it's like completing all your piston cut racers or something like that. Like, that's how it felt to me, because it was so hard to get. You know, the last ones I got were like Japan, Portugal, and Belgium, and oh my god, I was so happy to get them. Anyways, in that video, I actually miscall this one as Turkey. It's Denmark. But I said Turkey. It's because, I don't know, to me, they kind of have like similar designs. This is one that the factory customizers did, but the Disney Store did not do. They're both red with black, so I don't know. I made a mistake, but in my defense, they just look a little similar to me. So again, this is one kind of like Canada, like Ireland. There is no United States racer. Or, oh my god, there is no World Grand Prix racer for Denmark, and I'm kind of blanking on who races for Denmark in the Planes movie. It's not Vasihi, is it? I know Vasihi has the same colors, but I'm not sure. I thought Vasihi might have been Russian. Anyways, again, pretty hard not to mess up, but the factory custom deviates. They put a white trim around the flag there. They also make the stripe a little bit more detailed, which I like. You know, they add those, you know, center red stripes. On the side here, they add like carbon fiber. This is a really interesting choice. You can see all the carbon fiber on this McQueen in the background there, and then they put kind of like white streaks, lots of white streaks in the foreground. Really interesting choice. Like, why does Denmark get the carbon fiber? Did not paint over the back window. But I'll take it though. Instead of just being, a blank red background, I'm glad that they spruced it up a little bit with that carbon fiber. All right, let's move on to, excuse me, Japan. Who does this remind you of? Oh yeah, Shu Todoroki. So yeah, again, they take the red swirly dragon type design off Shu and apply it to Lightning McQueen here, along with that hood logo they put onto his roof there, which again, it's okay. Would have preferred a more fresh design, but this is what we get. Also, they put Le Motor prototype on this McQueen, and even though it is not on Shu himself, that is associated with Shu. I think that is like his fictional model. So that's also interesting, but let's zoom in here. Let's take a closer look. You got your Japanese flag there on the hood. You have your red swirls, which are a little different on the factory custom. They don't curl around the fender as much as they do on the Disney Store one. You have your Le Motor prototype decal. You have some Japanese characters in the back above the back tire, of course, on the roof. Again, you have the flare decals on the sides of the spoiler, which is nice, and Japanese flag there on the bumper. Nice. All right, who next? Who do we go to next, guys? What do you think? Portugal. Portugal has quite a few differences between it and the factory custom here, like a lot. And I have no idea why the factory customizers were unable to replicate this one, because they absolutely were capable of it. But you'll see here that they put the castle on the hood on the Disney Store version, but the factory customizers put it on the roof, and instead on the hood they put the Portugal flag, which makes sense. And it's actually kind of, almost strange that the Disney Store version doesn't have the Portugal flag at all. Another difference is that you have this green stripe running down the side of him, not on the factory custom at all. Beyond that though, everything pretty much checks out. You have this green background, creates this two-tone vibe going on the back. They go a little harder with the green, of course, painting over the back window there. They also make the spoiler green instead of red on the factory custom. So yeah, quite a few differences here. For those who live in Portugal, tell me, why does the castle embody Portugal so much? Like, why is that so iconic that it goes on your hood? Like, I understand the maple leaf for Canada, but what does this castle have to do? Maybe that's, a significant building or government building or something like that. I am not sure. Portugal is a place I'd like to go, but they don't speak Spanish there, and I want to go, immerse myself in Spanish culture. And so I'm going to go next door. I'm going to go to your neighbor, Spain. All right, next up is the UK. This design is really interesting to me. It's a brand new design, even though there are technically two British racers in Cars 2, being Nigel Gearsley and Lewis Hamilton. It's more similar to Lewis in the sense that he's black, but Nigel Gearsley would be your more, logical choice, I guess, because he's just straight up British, whereas Lewis Hamilton had the Grenadian, I think, yeah, he was part Grenadian and UK, part Grenadian, part British, and kind of had his own design going, of course, based on the real life Formula One driver. But yeah, they completely ignore Nigel Gearsley. They don't try and make the British McQueen here green or anything like that, and that makes sense because you take a look at Nigel and you don't really think of him as being British. I mean, sure, British racing like green or forest green, I guess that's his color, but yeah, this definitely makes more sense, and kind of like Prince William in the sense that he has the Union Jack, like a shadow ghost decal in gray there, and you got the Union Jack flag itself on the hood. And then they also incorporate that into Lightning McQueen's bolt, which looks really good. Yeah, so I like this design. I love on the Disney Store version that it continues on to the back, whereas it does not on the factory custom, but still looks really solid. And I'm glad that they went this route instead of making him just Nigel Gearsley. I feel like they could have easily done that. They could have just made him green, slapped the Union Jack on there, called it a day, but they went the extra mile with it, so I'm happy about that. All right, next up, we're going to go with Belgium. So Belgium here, probably one of my least favorites of these McQueens because he is so similar to Germany, which you'll see here in a second. There is no Belgian racer, though, in the World Grand Prix, so technically it's like Canada, like Ireland. Again, pretty boring though. You got the Belgium flag right there. You have the stripes on the roof there. You have a nice red gradient. It does look good and all that, but it's not like you needed graphic designers paid $100,000 a year on your creative team to make this. You know, I could have made this. In fact, it actually might almost warrant like some sort of punishment or penalty. Like your boss comes in, or let's paint it this way. Your boss tells you, "All right, guys, we gotta make these exclusive McQueens here, and we're gonna divide it up. We got 12 of you guys, and we have 12 McQueens. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice job, Disney Docket, Mr. Docket. Now, how about?" We got 3 graphic designers. How about each of you take 4 McQueens and, have them done by next Friday? And so the person assigned Belgium just looks over at their coworker who designed Germany, which looked over at Max Schnell and was like, yeah, the flags are same. So, I made the flags just kind of like rotated. So, this should be fine. But yeah, it's really disappointing to me. Granted, the Belgian design is much darker. It's black versus kind of like a gunmetal gray here on the Germany version. Yes, the flags share the same color. It's literally like horizontally instead of vertically striped. And it's obviously, that makes sense, I guess, but they're just so similar. It's like, why even bother? I remember when I was buying these country McQueens, I didn't buy them all at once, like these factory customs, that is, which they're easy to get. So it's not like the Disney store ones where there was like an actual obstacle preventing me from buying them all at once. Whereas with the factory customs, I literally just bought the ones I wanted to first. So UK, US, China, those all came first. Belgium and Germany were like the last ones I wanted to get because they look so boring to me. But yeah, Max Schnell's WTCL decal on the roof here. That is the league he races in, so they just put that here. And then you have the Bolt, black, red, yellow. It's nice. It's okay. It's fine. But these two are pretty boring in my opinion. If I was making a tier list, these would probably be number 11 and 12. Maybe if one didn't exist, well, maybe in that case, a little bit more lenient. But last but not least, here we have Italy. So Francesco Bernoulli had a little bit of a part in this. Not super, though. You could see this FR Formula Racer decal, and that is a decal that came off of Francesco Bernoulli there. But other than that, not a whole lot. I guess the circular number 95 and 1, that also kind of came from Francesco. And let me get out the factory custom here. So you have the Italian flag there on the hood, the 95 on the roof. Kind of a two-tone here on the side, white versus green, red bolt. This is pretty middle of the pack for me. I don't really... I like it, but it's nothing I go crazy about. So there you guys have it. Now, before we completely end off the video, I just want to extrapolate on the factory custom country McQueens a little bit more. I just showed you all of the ones that correspond to the official Disney Store releases, but as I hinted at earlier, they went a little bit above and beyond and made several that the Disney Store didn't do. But I like to break them up into 2 different categories. After the official ones that they emulated, then you have the really good ones that could have easily been canceled by the Disney Store. such as Sweden here. This is one that is very similar to the World Grand Prix Swedish racer that only appeared in the Swedish version of Cars 2, Flash. You have the crowns on here in the blue and yellow. Same thing here with China, similar to the Chinese World Grand Prix racer Longue, only in the Chinese version of Cars 2. Like this decal here is pretty much the same as Longue. Same thing with this and that. But I really do like this. I love the golden star right there. I think this is one of the more unique McQueens that they did. Oop. Almost dropped them there. Would not have been anything off track for me. I'm kind of clumsy. And then Turkey here. You have the Turkish flag, and then they put the moon and star there. This one's pretty boring. Black bolt. Okay, so you have those three, which are really nicely done in my opinion. I know I just kind of trashed on Turkey right there, but you'll understand why. Like, it makes sense though. Like, there's nothing crazy about the Turkey one. Like, it's something that you could have easily imagined the Disney store doing as well. But then after that, the third wave came along where everyone, like whoever made these, got like a little squirrelier. They just got like a little bit tired of being conservative with their designs. So, you know, they were tasked with Australia, and they're like, yeah, screw that Union Jack flag again that we've seen before with the UK. We're going to make him yellow and toss a freaking koala bear on the roof, because why not? And we're also going to put a kangaroo in the coat of arms along with an ostrich. I think that's an ostrich. And just go absolutely bonkers with all these designs. So yeah, as you can see, and as you will see with the next few McQueens here, they just like completely went off the rails in my opinion. It took me a long time to buy these because I really had no interest at all in them. Sure, Frosty, the World Grand Prix Australian racer in the Australian version of Cars 2, is yellow, but he doesn't have any of these decals. And they do have the Australian flag incorporated into the bolt here, but it really deviates from the country's kind of main aesthetic. This is their coat of arms. Koala bears are indigenous to Australia. That's a weird looking stick that he's holding on to. But yeah, I just really could not give two squirts of urine about these. And I only bought them recently, like literally in the last 2.5 years, because I was like, all right, fine. I want to have a complete set. I don't want these to become rare. This one is Singapore, so you have the Singapore flag. I have no idea what pink, means to Singapore. I tried to Google it one time and didn't find jack squat. Same kind of thing with yellow being for Australia there, but they do incorporate the flag into the bolt. They have a little decal up top here on the sides of the spoiler. You got the coat of arms there, Modula Singapura. So in that sense, they do kind of stay faithful to the country by including the coat of arms and all that. But yeah, pink though, really pink. What else? All right, we have South Korea here, blue. What is that? Why did they just like Google Images flowers? Like, what is that? Like a flower that? Is that like the national flower of South Korea or something? That pink flower? I mean, it looks nice, but like it doesn't fit on a car like this. That does not look good in my opinion. I'm not sure exactly what this is. It's a part of their flag, like that circular logo in the center, and then you have some Korean characters, but all I know is that is the South Korean flag. I also know that I don't like this McQueen. And I think this is the last one here, is Hong Kong. They literally put an image of the city itself on the roof. That's when you know that you're out of ideas, guys. Yeah. When you start mixing live, like reality with a cartoon, like an animated film, like, no. I mean, you take that away, honestly, this is a pretty good one because you have the flag and then they incorporate that into the lightning bolt on the side. It looks pretty solid. But really, this, no. So You guys can understand why I held off on buying those for so long. I just absolutely despise them, and I still kind of do. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Before we end off, I want to give a shout out to Get Me Collectibles. If you guys need anything, check out his eBay store. However, yeah, he doesn't have these. I'm going to break the bad news to you right now. He does not have these. But that doesn't mean he can't have them in the future. He's always getting new stuff in and always selling stuff. You know, it's a constant flow. So check it out if you're interested. And let me know in the comments which country McQueen is your favorite. My favorite is the American one. And that is not because I am, you know, America, F yeah, that's not the reason. It's because it's just a really good design, honestly, followed by, or, in front of Ireland. I like Ireland a lot. And where was the other one that I really like? I kind of forgot who the other one. I think it would probably be the UK, or I do kind of dig Spain. I like how yellow looks on McQueen there. Portugal's cool too. Alright guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you learned something from it. It was a lot of information, and I'm so happy I was able to share it with you guys. I will see you soon for another video. Bye now. These are some sexy McQueens, by the way. Just had to say it.